Good morning and hello. Happy Tuesday. We have Zilby here in the corner, who's complaining because I'm not playing with him yet. Usually I try playing with him later in the day, but today he wanted to play with me. Probably because I found a ground spider hanging around on the inside and had to deal with it. And now he wanted it. But okay, what are we working on? We are continuing to work on guarded gear. Which we can't compile right now. Oh, because we're dealing with the middleware and the What's that? Right, so we're dealing with middleware, we're doing a lot of stuff. Oh, do you want... Throw sleep. Okay, so let's see. Test is failing, and then I think it's really going to be this middleware. Yeah, this like body that we have here. So we want to grab the body out. Okay, let's go continue to look at examples of how this is done. I really want to figure out how the middleware is done through the documentation, because I want to be able to show the documentation and say like, look, you don't only need to go to Stack Overflow, you don't only need to go to other stuff. It's like, do something with request. That's not really helpful. Alright, let's go take a look at examples. Where's the other one? It's like on match 1 of 2, but I don't see where that is. Okay, so that's match there. Oh, is it hidden somewhere? Consumed body in middleware. But it's literally not doing anything with it. It's just running it and then passing it along. Buffer request body. Oh, maybe that's what I meant. Okay, so buffer request body comes from where? Line 50. Oh, okay. So async function buffer request body takes the request in, gets into parts, into bytes, then we do a thing with it, which just debugs out what the bytes are. Okay, so here, let's go back to what we have here. Let's remove our lifetimes. So we're getting the body out. And then we're doing hyper body to bytes in the body. Okay. Do I have hyper? Oh, I don't have access to hyper. Zilby did not come back after throwing that, so. Okay, so we'll do hyper body. What was this? Hyper, oh, lowercase body, 2 bytes. Okay, so it's a module body. Now, what are our choices here? So we have 2 bytes, concatenating the buffers from body into single bytes synchronously. Okay. The trait reference request handler if body is not satisfied. Oh, so it needs to be. It's implemented for mute T. Required for mute. Okay, so hold on. What are you requiring for this? So we have. Oh, you're not even doing. This middleware isn't even using a what is it called? Generic. I thought you had to use a generic. Am I looking at old stuff? Or new stuff? I might be looking at 2 new stuff. What are we on right now? We're on 0619. Let's go to you. see anything else in here besides maybe validator. But I don't see middleware being used in here. Yeah, there's no layer. So they're doing the validation inside of the route handler. But they did create their own extractor too. Kukma, what do I think about Axum docs compared to Actix web docs? You're thinking about switching to Axum, but you're afraid of not detailed, useful docs. Okay, that is a very, very, very good fear to have now. If you're coming from Actix web, so let's take a look at Actix. Let's start where one would normally start. Actix web. So documentation, they have a website, they have a user guide, and they have the normal, so they have the normal API docs from Rust. But they also have a website with, looks like a tutorial. It's using what looks like the Rust book format, which is to be expected. And something that gets you going. Along with the advanced stuff here, which makes a lot of sense. Okay. Axum. Does not have a website, and therefore no tutorial, like no official tutorial to find. So you have to like look for ones like, tutorials that people like me have created. So like it's all community maintained. So there's no official one. The examples folder that they have, I usually avoid trying to use examples until I have no choice, because oftentimes I found that they're the least updated, they're kept up to date the least. Maybe in Rust it's gonna be a little bit better because they can have them automatically tested. But generally speaking, I've run into those problems more often in other frameworks, like especially with React and Angular and so on. So here. We have sort of like a here's how to get things going in like everything in main. But then the rest of it, everything else is in the official Rust documentation. And so that I think it's a valid concern to about the docs. So the next question is this for yourself? Are you learning Axum because you just want to learn it and you want to have multiple Rust backend frameworks in your toolbox, or is it for work where you're building something for somebody else or yourself? For yourself, I mean, in that case, I don't think it's a problem necessarily to use Axum. I think that if it's for yourself, you want to learn this, you'll be forced to sort of learn how they think, and by they I mean the people who wrote this, people from the Tokyo team. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I think that's good. I think though that if you want to get straight into it, then it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. For example, take a look at what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to figure out how do I create middleware that I then can put some validation stuff inside. So I found here's middleware that I found to create myself. So I can use this middleware from function, and it tells me I need this, and the example is this. Now they're telling me I need this be here. In the examples under Axum, they only have one thing with middleware in it, which is this consume body and extractor of middleware. Which, here's the middleware itself. It doesn't use a generic, unlike the other one. So now makes me curious, do I need that generic? Let's find out. And so we run into this a lot. Let's get rid of that generic. Let's see. View and okay, so that, I mean, it's not compiling, but not necessarily because of this. Maybe it is. Oh no, look at that. Struct defined here with one generic parameter. B. Oh, and that's inside the source code. So I absolutely have to pass it the generic, but they're not passing in the generic, which now makes me wonder if it's an older version. So, okay, that's main. Hey, I thought I switched to 06. Okay, so consume body. Box body. Twisted Seed, hello. So Kukma, is this helping like make the decision? I like, it's a good framework, but I totally understand if that it's not. Perhaps a better way to put it would be, it hasn't crossed the chasm yet. So if you're familiar with like sort of business terminology, crossing the chasm is when you switch from early adopters to just everybody. So you have like this point here where it's all like new and it's like hard to use, and it's like bleeding edge. It's changing a lot. It might be broken. Documentation is not that great. And then you have people over here who are like, nope, it has to be stable. The documentation has to be, world class. It has to be like really, really, really good. And there's that chasm right there where people from over here won't switch over to use it until this point. Ironically, it's the opposite way too. There's some people over here that will not make the jump and say, yeah, now you're a little bit too mainstream. I'm gonna go find something else. Seems more clear than Actix extractors anyways. Well, it's been a while since I've used Actix, or Actix Web to be complete, to be fair, to be, I don't know what word I was thinking of. It's been a while. I heard that everything changed, so I can't, I think I used it pre 1.0, which is a long time ago. That was back before the Actix Web drama happened. Okay, so this is using box body here. What is box body? Discovery in here of like what to use, of like, okay, maybe this would be better. Can be rough. Okay, so type alias, a boxed body trait object. It's using Axum as a response. body type for applications, it's necessary to unify multiple response bodies types to one. So it's a type, which is an unsync box body. Okay. Sam Rosto, hello. Looking forward to the Axum course. Currently learning Rust and a Rust book with my playlist. Oh man, that's. How are you liking that? I am. It's been obviously a while since that was recorded. So I think that the biggest probably change in that would be the lifetimes. They've become easier. Like you don't have to do lifetimes quite as much. But I'm curious of like how learning it that way is. Huh, there is format. I wonder if box body implements, or unsync box body implements debug. So if I do that, awesome. Well, that's good to hear. If you run into any problems or any questions or anything else like that, obviously during the streams, be happy to answer any questions. We have a Discord too, if you want to join in there, and we're a little bit more asynchronous about answering it, but we'd be happy to answer any Rust questions there too. This isn't the router, right? Yes. Okay, so the trait bound from function request box body is not satisfied. Okay, so now, okay, back to this example. Print request body. So this is really nice. This was working with JavaScript for forever now with GitHub. Now it works with Rust, which is really nice. So I can just click this and it shows me everywhere in the project where this is being used. So you are using layer middleware from function that. Okay. Oh, and then you're doing, okay, so, okay, next run request, which is this request after you're buffering the request body. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's difference. Then buffer request body. You're doing into parts and the parts. Oh, and then you create a request from parts again. Box full. Okay, so let's try this, I suppose. So let's put it into parts and body. Okay, so we do that. Then we want to get the bytes by doing hyperbody to bytes and passing in the body, and then that supposedly works. So you can't convert this. Oh, what kind of error? Oh wait, it's not. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm too used to using a normal error, but of course I'm using a result with the status code, so I have to map the error. Okay, so let's do that. Now we can question mark you. That gives us the bytes. We are gonna debug the bytes out. Do thing with that, which is tracing debug. What does the question mark operator do again before bytes? Is that turn it into something else? I don't really work with bytes very often. We'll start with this. And then, okay, so then we have to create everything again. So that's gonna be a request from parts. Then we have to build it all together again. So, okay, next run. So this is gonna have to be a request. From parts. Okay, give it the parts. Give it a box body. Do you want it from? Oh, body boxed. Pull from bytes. Oh. Body. Hold on. What are you? You're you. Which I think is consumed here. But clear. Oh, body. It's Axum body, I think. Interesting. Okay, so this is now going to be an Axum body box body. Oh wait, no, it's from the parts, right? So it's bytes. Pull from bytes. Okay. Pull from bytes. But it doesn't like this. Hey, stacking. Hello. How are you doing today? Mismatch types. Expected to struct router hyper body. Found struct. Oh, weird. Okay, so I changed things. That's not great. Because if I don't use this layer, then you're happy. So the layer broke everything. As it does. Now you're also having this return a result request box body. Wonder if I need to return that. So request box body. Yashard, hello! You finally catch the stream after quite a while. It is awesome to have you back. I've been doing okay. Hi. Zilby's here to say hi too. You wanna come up? Zilby? No? Okay, I'm just gonna go hang out there. Yeah, so what were we doing a year ago? Was I working on Axum? Was I literally working on this a year ago? That would be hilarious. If it just makes it look like I haven't done anything in here. Let's see. And how have you been? Hopefully the year's treated you well. Expected struct hyper request found hyper response. This is request from parts. And I want this is request box body. Oh, I didn't call net. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. I'm so confused on this. So this is okay. Oh, you've been learning asynchronous programming in JavaScript these days. How is that going for you? Async programming in most languages it can be a little bit tough to learn. JavaScript is an interesting beast altogether. Hi, you wanna come up? Okay, so this is different. So okay, next run request, but the request comes from this buffer request body, which then returns the request from parts. So kind of is what I'm doing here. Now you're returning, result impl into response. So that would be changing you. This one is quite another thing. It definitely can be. Still not happy with this layer. Expected a router. Found router unsync box body. Do I need to implement? Ooh, do I need to do something with the route, like the different type? You're learning MongoDB and Mongoose, and most of their methods are asynchronous. So you have to learn this one first. Yeah, so almost everything that exits out of the JavaScript ecosystem is going to be asynchronous, regardless if it tells you or not. So some of them will return promises and some of them won't, but they may, it comes down to experience and sort of like seeing what that is. That's true stacking. Asynchronous programming did get better with the introduction of the await sugar syntax. Let's see, before then we had to use the delegate pattern. You had to whiteboard everything to keep track, or you just go into callback hell, and that was fun too. There's several different patterns. My favorite pattern, if I'm using promises and not async await programming. So if I'm using promises themselves, my favorite pattern is something called the river pattern, which I'm not, like, I think Dan Levy invented, who is probably not anybody knows, but I like that the most, but it's very different looking. And if you don't know promises, and you don't know how those work, it can be really hard to sort of look at things like, well, this is weird. But it's really good if you do know what it looks like and how it works. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can do my best to help out. Oh, delegate pattern is passing messages with callbacks. Well, that shows me not recognizing the name delegate pattern. Cursor. Wait. Is that the question? Cursor? I imagine there's more coming, right? Oh, you want to ask about cursors. Okay, totally understand. Yeah, what about cursors? And we can do our best to answer. Dota, hello. How are you doing today? If I used Objective-C, which I avoided Objective-C, I used it once for like a quarter of a day, a half a day, and then I put it down and never used it again. For the event loop to run another loop, all async procedures have to be completed. Is it that all of them have to be completed, or all of them have to be processed? And like started. And isn't that also different on per engine? I don't remember anymore. It's been a while since I actually like did a deep dive into JavaScript and all that fun stuff. I do remember that if you use promises in V8 after a certain version, like version 10 or something like that, the compiler may or may not, because it's V8, which is very, very advanced, can decide to ship your code into a thread and have it run way more like actual asynchronous, as opposed to on a in the same thread. And that is a big difference between Chrome and like Firefox or something else, which implements JavaScript a little bit more strictly. Cursors, when I've seen them used before, is when you want a ton of control over the SQL being ran. They are not needed. SQL should be written declaratively, and therefore cursors largely avoided. Sure. Let's ask an AI what cursors are. What are cursors in JavaScript? It's not what are cursors? It's in databases, right? Yeah. What are cursors? How about this? In programming, what are cursors? Let's just start with that. Okay, so ask a generic question, get a generic answer. Cursors are programming objects or data structures that allow you to traverse and manipulate a collection of data, typically in a sequential manner. Okay. So then let's move on to databases. What are cursors? For in the context of a database. Yeah, it actually makes a lot of sense. And now that I remember it, it's like there are those are cursors that you use to like move around. So you can say like, okay, you start at the beginning of the file and then you want to seek forward. So seek the cursor forward and then start reading from another point. A cursor is a database object that allows you to retrieve and manipulate data from a result set or a query. It provides a way to traverse through the rows of the result set one at a time, so reading each row, allowing you to perform operations on each row individually. They're used in database management systems. There's performance implications if you overuse cursors. Okay. Now, the question is, what do you need for it? So paragraph 4. In addition to fetching data, cursors can also be used to update, delete, or insert data into the database. By using a cursor, you can navigate through the result set and perform modifications on the underlying data. Okay, never mind. It's important to note that the usage of cursors in database programming should be done judiciously, as they can have performance implications, especially when dealing with large result sets. It's recommended to consider alternative approaches, such as set-based operations, whenever possible, to optimize database performance. I know. Sorry, I'm not. zero based indexed when I'm reading through paragraphs. Yes, that touches on your opinion. So I don't actually know if I've ever used cursors when it comes to manipulating data in a database. I've used sets, definitely. I think that I try to end up going with whatever the documentation says, which of course they might be using cursors behind the scenes. And I think that's where it's probably best left, is like behind the scenes. You looked them up, discussed it with the database guy, and he said, don't do that. That sounds good. At my work, I am the database guy. I know about databases. I am not like a database guy, but there's literally nobody else who's spinning them up, so therefore it's me. But it's yeah, okay. Now you said you're using Mongoose with MongoDB. In the course you're learning, there is no topic such as cursors, but when you're reading docs of Mongoose, so many of the methods touch on this subject. Let's go take a look at one of those. Can you, let's go find, now it's been forever since I've used Mongoose and Mongo. I would assume that it's changed a lot. What's one of the queries that does it? Yeah, I wanna see whether or not that's what they're talking about. Okay, let me see cursor in here. Oh, okay, yeah, cursors are everywhere in here. I see now. Okay. So you can stream query results from MongoDB. You need to call the query cursor function to return an instance of query cursor. Cursors are subject to cursor timeouts. Now, all right, let's go see if they can tell us what they define a cursor as. So before we find this, I have a prediction. I think we're going to discover that they're not using cursors as in the database cursor as it is, but they've implemented their own cursor and they expect you to use that. And it's like the same general idea of something that can manipulate one row at a time, but it's not like you're manually using a new cursor. I think it's their own thing. Let's go see if I'm right. So you can get a cursor with that, which is a Mongo driver cursor. And it looks like it's a wrapper around it. Says the cursor option executes this aggregation, returning an aggregation cursor. Cursors are useful if you want to process the results of an aggregation one at a time because the aggregation result is too big to fit into memory. Okay, so it looks here like it's exactly what you're saying, Dota. It's the ability for you to stream data from the database, specifically if the data is too big to fit into memory. So if you want to get 1 million rows, if you want to get 10 million, 100 million rows of large objects, there is no way that your server is going to sit there and fit that into, like, I don't know, you've got like a free tier on AWS, you're going to run out of memory and crash. So instead, just get one row at a time, process it, and deal with it in that way. That's what a cursor is here in Mongo. So you don't need to worry about cursors unless you need to worry about cursors. That's the unfortunate answer, is if you start crashing because of memory problems, time to use cursors. And specifically, use cursors using the documentation from the system that you're using. So use a Mongoose cursor. Don't try to get like a Mongo cursor directly. You want to get a Mongoose cursor. And obviously, if we're using Postgres, we want to get like whatever library or framework or something we're using, that should get that too. So like if we're using CORM in Rust, then we want to get... Actually, that's a good question. Does CORM give us access to the cursor? I'm now curious about this. Yeah, cursor pagination. Yeah, so I can do a cake find cursor by, and that gives me a cursor, and now I can start I can now... Oh, that gives me pagination, so it's not even... Oh, this is weird. So this is not one row at a time. This gives me like as many rows as I want. That's... I would probably do this for pagination type stuff. It sounds like for this one is going to be if I want to process in the back end every row in the database, but I can't do it because if I get every row in the database, it runs out of memory. So that's really what it is no matter what, cursors are to help you avoid running out of memory. Based upon what Dota is saying and what Dota's database person mentioned, don't pull out a cursor unless you don't have a choice. That sounds like just the end result is don't pull out a cursor unless you don't have a choice, in which case they're probably going to save your butt. But they might slow everything down too. And of course, if I'm wrong, let me know. And we'll go over and I'll correct that. We've been pair programming everything at work. We still have PR reviews. Wait. You've been pair programming everything and you still have PR reviews? That's like the entire point of pair programming, is that you don't have to do PR reviews because you're reviewing it as the code is being written. I mean, okay. But, okay, I don't... I mean, okay, but... So pulling out my my systems design hat, and by system design, I mean like actual like business systems as opposed to like the actual architecture systems. It's best to, like, it would still be worth their time to be involved in the pair. Now, they don't necessarily have to be involved in the pair 100% of the time, right? They can drop in a pair and see how things are going, because if it waits until now 2 people have spent their time building something to high quality, testing everything, getting everything working, and then find out that there's an architectural change that needs to be made, that's too late. That is way too late in the system. So instead, bring them back and like have them be integrated into the system. If there's not enough of them to go around, then that is their job. There's nothing more important for them to do than to be available and ready to work with all the teams. It comes to trust. Like at the beginning, they're probably not going to trust that you're going to call them when it's tough, but it's once you get to that point, they probably won't be able to imagine going back to the old system again. You have 14,000 commits on GitHub. You've never done pull requests. I do pull requests for my own stuff sometimes. Like I go back and forth. At work, I almost exclusively do pull requests. It's only like emergency little changes, or like, okay, I just need to change like the .env file in like locally, or I guess like that wouldn't be committed. I need to change like a workspace file in like the GitHub Actions or something like that. And it's not even gonna run. It's only running on the main one. I might just do that directly. Or I'm changing the README or something like that. Like I might just go straight to main for that one. But for the most part, I try to do pull requests. Even if I'm not doing pull request reviews. Because my team is not large enough. We literally don't have the people. Like we'll do pairing. So like, we need like a review type thing on this thing. Let's pair on it. And that's a review right there. Okay, so this didn't work. That's fun. Now, we could ask find. Maybe find can help us. Let's do a new thread. All right. Find, help me create, so, how do I extract JSON from the body in Axum middleware? Let's see if it could answer this. The way find works, it uses ChatGPT, which is famously wrong with a lot of different coding things, but it also uses a couple different search engines, I think, behind the scenes, that it like does searches, it finds things from like Stack Overflow, and then it sends code examples to ChatGPT to like explain them. So it's a little bit better. So it generated a lot of stuff. To extract JSON from the body, you can follow these steps. So create a middleware function that takes in request in the next parameter. Yes, okay. Inside the middleware function, you can access the request body by calling request into parts. This will give you the request body as an Axum body type. So far that's I can't. That's not true. So this is already wrong. It doesn't give me the request body as an Axum body type. Is Axum body a trait? Use the hyperbody to bytes function to read the request body as bytes. I can convert them into a string. So ignoring this, or ignoring specifically that, this might work. So I get the bytes and then I can convert them into a string maybe. Let's try that. So I get the bytes. So that maybe like string body. Oh it wants to use like standard stir from UTF-8. Oh, interesting. Let's try it. Standard stir.
Beautiful.
From UTF-8. It's a reference to the string body. Ooh. What? Stop. It's reference to bytes. So just unwrap you. Okay, so that gives us strings. Now let's take a look at. Now, I want to. Did I lose the request? Let's. Let's go back to what we had previously. Moved here. I wonder if I need to clone. Can I clone the request? I cannot clone the request. Okay, so I need to create a new request from this. Okay. So when I get that, it gives me. Can I just change you to body? So that's a trait object. Oh man, calculating how many commits we've done across all of the version management systems, that would be tough. I mean, there's quite a few that I don't even have access to anymore. So like when I was a sysadmin, I used, oh, what was the other one? Oh, I don't even remember anymore. There was a few that were weird and like not fun to use. So, okay, let's go back to what. Just gonna use T because now I'm lazy. Okay, so we do T. Now, you need the trait bound T Axum HTTP body is not satisfied, so you need to be HTTP body inside this. So we do so T HTTP body. You don't implement. Okay, so HTTP body error doesn't implement display. Let's just get rid of here. Used to move value. Okay, so we still moved the request out. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, Dota. Good luck with the PR review, and have a great rest of your Tuesday. Okay, so now I lost the request. Because I believe that the request is used. Okay, so I consumed the request here. Is there an extractor that I can use for a body? Can I use something like that would be nice if I could. 'Cause then I could just like have the request next, not use those, and then just get like something like so if I use raw body like that, okay, let's try this. Oh, I'm not allowed to. So middleware from function, I have to only use this request. I can't use this body like that. Now, can I do something like also implements clone, like plus clone? So if I do that. Trait clone is not implemented for body. Oh, okay. Okay, we're back to compiling again because we removed everything. So we have this debug running the middleware, guard encoding the editor. Okay, that's great. I run next run to move on to the next thing. That's great. If I do something with the request, I have to create the request again, which is going to be the problem. So if I want to get the body out, so now this gives me a reference to the body. So maybe I could just do that and not lose the request. So okay, we're still good here, but it's a that t. Okay, so now can I get body dot? Can I get like the bytes? I want to get all of it. Pull data and pull trailers return none. So is it? so I can't run like pull anything on this. Okay, so I want to go take a look at what that request body is. So this is in the middle where we have. Oh, the problem is this type T, but okay, so let's go to request. Which is specifically I want the body method. Was there a different type of body? So I want to come. Okay, so this is request.rs. So we have a head, which is parts, and body, which is type T. Oh, so the body is unknown. Okay. So I can say what it is. Okay. So that's where I can maybe say that I think this is string, potentially. What if I say body is a string? I don't think it's gonna be happy if I do that. Oh yeah, definitely doesn't like that. So you need to be this type T. I want to grab I wonder, okay, so we're probably extractors. So I can run other extractors. I just have to run ones that don't consume the body. That's the key. Oh, and this is suggesting, okay, so I need to return response and a status code. Okay, so I need to change that. Let's update you. We can return a response, which import that. Now you are grabbing responses. Part of this next run. Okay, so response equals that. Okay, so then I can return you, then you're fine, happy. Now map request. Create a middleware from an async function that transforms a request. Ooh, okay. So it's, okay, so from function creates me a middleware from function and it just does something to it. Map request is a different type of middleware that mutates the request itself. Like, for example, adding a header into this. Interesting, okay. From extractor, create a middleware from an extractor. If the extractor succeeds, the value will be discarded and the inner service will be called. This can be used to perform validation of requests if the validation doesn't produce any useful output. If the extractor consumes the request body as string or bytes does, an empty body will be left in its place. Oh, that's not great. Okay, so they're using a struct which has this info from request parts. That could be interesting. I could also map the request . Now that's setting a header. And I can reject the request, which this might be what I want for validation then. Now it's still using a generic type here, so, but I'm returning just the request B. There's no next here. Interesting. Then I would want to do the combined thing with the router so that this middleware only runs for this one route, or at least like a group of routes. Interesting. I could also see map request. No, because like the other ones I just created an extension. So actually don't know what the best answer would be for any of these. Besides just normal middleware. Like this says it's adding the header, but I'm not sure adding the header on the request is all that helpful. I could see it adding on the response. This is just using it to log. Which I don't understand why they would be doing map request just to log. Oh, that seems wrong. Okay, so in the end, what we're trying to do is I'm trying to figure out how to put validation inside of this function here. So I can get some validation going and saying that, hey, we want to guard the coding editor, so I want to make sure that this type is what we think that it is. But to get that, I need to extract that out. So I can get the body out. Can we see? Okay, request. Find the request extractor, I think. I've seen a lot of from requests. I wonder if I should go there and then hopefully be able to find requests from that. There's too many word requests for me to search for on this page. Okay, let's go from request. Me request. Okay, this is what I think I want. An HTTP request consists of a head and a potentially optional body. body component is generic, enabling arbitrary types to represent the HTTP body. For example, the body could be a vector of U8s, a stream of byte chunks, or a value that has been deserialized. These give me what I want out of it. So methods body returns a reference to the associated HTTP body, but it's going to be that type, whatever type I passed in, which is essentially not limited to anything at all. Into body and then into parts also consume the request. So it's gone, I need to create a new one, which I can create a new one. I can do that request new. And give it that body. Okay, so what do we know? This type is the body of the type because parts is its own thing. Next takes in this T, but do they really have to be the same things? Now I'm curious about next. Oh, which is not gonna be helpful. Oh no, don't go to HTTP. Oh. Oh, request is from HTTP crate. Oh, that makes it more interesting. No wonder I couldn't find it, because it's not in Axum. Okay, so I need to go back to here again. Was there was there like another example further down that had like better stuff? So I can do, okay, there's the other ones. There's the from function one, which then uses Axum middleware. That's only compatible with Axum, but is easier to write, which is, I mean, why wouldn't you do that if it's only for this one app, right? But it makes me wonder, was there more examples? It's just the handling state. And these are struct layers. Not really helpful there. What I wish this told me is what you're supposed to return with next. So next, B is the final argument. With them both being the same. So they have to be the same. B being the body of the request. But I'm supposed to return the request itself, which has the headers, like the parts, and the body together. So, if I wanted to get request that's like a string out from the body, but I want this to be more generic for the request, I wonder if I can do that. I wonder then if I can say, okay, we have this T here, this is next T. You I want to be a string. Let's not worry about that for a second. I want then to extract out the body. And let's tracing debug this. Okay, so if we do that, now I do want to... Now this response here, I need to create the response, which is done by running run, right? So next, run, and you need the request of a B, and if I do request, that's probably going to be unhappy, right? Mismatch types, expect to destruct hyper request. Found hyper request string because it wasn't T. So unless I then say, okay, I want T, where T implements like toString. Then in that case, okay, let's put the string there, do that. Now you're body cannot be formatted with the default formatter. Body doesn't implement display. Okay. So I can't do anything with strings like this. I think it comes with, there's some types here in middleware section. That might give us some hints. So our response is this service request body send and static. You're not really giving me much more to go with those types. So I can't use, so it has to be something that, is it HTTP body? Is that what we saw? HTTP body? Body doesn't implement display. I mean, I could say that I want it to implement display. I can't imagine this is gonna work. So I get rid of you. I don't do a toString on this. We get the body out, and I just say, hey, display the body. Inside the middleware from function, body cannot be formatted with the default format. Okay, so body. Which type of body is that? Is that HTTP body? Is that the tower HTTP body? Or is it Axum body? Oh, it's a re-export. HTTP body. Okay, so it's re-export of this. Oh, it's a trait of body. Can I just say body? No. I want body. Let's use Axum. Axum body, hyper body, request body. There's no body in the. Wait, I thought it was a re-export. Oh, it is hyper. Oh no, I'll use HTTP body as HTTP body, but then there's also hyper body. Which one is it? I can use hyper body. We'll use that one because that's what Rust Analyzer can find. Now, hyper body can't find that thing. Okay, that's fine. You're back. Oh no, you can't tell me anything. Okay, so isend streams. So, an I. Now, box. What does box do? There's the box treat object, but I don't know if that helps. Data. So data doesn't implement display. I mean, not terribly surprising. I thought this did a future. Returns a future that resolves the next data chunk, but not what I was expecting. Okay. We can do a try into or an into. Can I do an into and then tell it to go into like a string? Does not implement from a string. Okay, so we have this body. I could do this data, maybe. Hybrid! IO, hello. You don't know most of the goal here, but you can try to help with trace debug if you'd like. Awesome! Well, thank you very much. I am trying to, well, I'm trying to like really dive into middleware in Axum to sort of understand what, like, you know, how do I create things? How do I, like the most common thing you'd probably do with middleware, at least early on in a backend journey, would probably be like the validation type stuff. You know, doing database stuff, go get a user and like put that into an extension, things like that. Do some like database lookups, maybe some like maybe some monitoring or something, some other fun stuff. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to extract the body out of the response here. Sorry, out of the request here. And then print, I just want to print that out right now. But I'm having trouble like actually getting that. And there's not really great documentation in Axum of how to do that. Because all the documentation ends before it actually shows you how to do it. It's like, oh yeah, then you just go do stuff to it. Good luck. And it's like, okay, thank you. So that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to get that out right now. Oh boy, you feel that? Yeah, it's a thing. And so it's, okay, I can make this an HTTP body, like to implement that trait, right? So now I can get things like the parts of it. Now I can also consume the request. So maybe we just go back and we do what it suggested. And one of the examples that we saw is like, okay, consume the request, right? So we have our tracing debug, we're running the middle. Let's do this. Oh no, too much. This again. What did I say? Okay, we're technically running. Let's make sure it's actually running. All right, so here's our running the middleware with guard. So we see that. before we run this, I want to extract out and get the parts, which is going to consume the request, which means I can't use it here. I need to now create a new one, which is going to be fun. So we want to do let parts body equals request into parts. Now, before I do anything else with this to make this work again, I now need to create the request again. So I can do a builder, creates a new builders tab. Axum does combine stuff with other libraries, yes, and they don't have like a website, so they don't have like a book or anything else to like show official documentation, and it's changed a lot, which makes it a little bit harder. I could do new. Oh, from parts. Okay, this is probably what I want. So from parts. So give it parts and a body. Parts and body. So parts and a body. So, I mean, I've not really done anything. This is the equivalent of me just like taking apart like a tool just to put it back together again. I haven't like done anything with it. But it runs and it compiles. So that's good. Request there for a simple use case should probably be request evacuate. Maybe it can be a string, not sure. Oh yeah, okay, so we can make this T. I wonder if I can do that and have this still be a T, or if it has to be like a specific type. If not, I can create that type. But let's try it, right? So if I now change you to be a vec of U8. Mismatch types expected hyper request T found struct hyper request vec U8. Okay, so now you need to be the same thing. Stop. No, stop. Back. Dates. But now it doesn't compile. Isn't next a handle for the next? No, of course. Why would it be that? I mean, we can't take hints from other frameworks here. It's weird, right? So in this system, it kind of is, and it kind of is not. It's representing it, but it's not actually directly running it. From what I can tell, next is I handed the request, and it's going to go run the next route handler for me, but it's going to create a response. And so this allows me, like, I can see like the idea of it, right? We have middleware, and then above this next, all of this stuff is going to be things that happen before the route handler runs. And then after next run, I can put code that will run after the route handler runs, which is cool, I suppose. I don't know if I've ever, need that, but like I could see it being useful. I can see it being really useful. It is, but it wants the type of body too, right? Which is, this is where we're running into the problem here, is the router itself is now saying, hey, you can't do this. Trait service request is not implemented for middleware from function request back to U8. So it can't be U8. So it can't be U8 directly, but I wonder. If we can. Is there a 2 bytes trait? Or like a bytes trait is something to say like, hey, you can be bytes? Because maybe in that case, maybe I can restrict the generic to something that can be bytes. And this example I am really confused about because it doesn't even have generics. Now it does have this box. Oh, because this is using box body. You can go back and use this. Maybe a stream. It's the only example that has any middleware in it that I can tell, unless maybe. Let's do a search. Let's search inside of here. Let's search for middleware from. It's like from function. There's docs like that. Okay. Okay, so this example has it. Prometheus Metrics has it. This middleware. This example, which is not real, but so where's my router? Okay, so here's our layer. Print request response. Oh, this always happens to me where it changes the branch on me unexpectedly. Okay, so this is still middleware, print request response. Now you take in a body. Which is this Axum body. Okay. And let's try that. So I want Axum body. Don't be a hyper body. You compile. Great. And you're still running. Good. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Now that I have this body here, I want to do something with let, I don't know, until I figure out what I'm doing. No, in A. So body. It's not really, I can try to get data, but that future returns an max data chunk. I don't think that's helpful. I want to get the entire thing. It's like, let's see a thing that gives me like 2 bytes. Map data, map pair, box. Okay, tracing. Can I debug the body? So we have the body. I don't want to consume the body. I'm Scanand. I am SK. Hello. How are you doing today? No. Okay, it doesn't implement display. How about debug? And compiles. Okay. Aha. We have the body streaming. We have the body empty. That looks like a tuple type. Body dot. Can I get the stream out? What am I doing here? So, well, first of all, welcome. Usually it says that if you're new, you're a first-time chatter. So you've hung out with me before. But anyways, we are working on creating a course for Axum. I've been creating test-driven sort of assessments for doing stuff, and we're in the middle of creating one for middleware to force you to learn middleware. I'm trying to write the solution in here and make sure I go. It's been like a year plus since I've done this, and so it's like, ooh, and things changed also. So I'm like, yeah, maybe let's figure something else out. And we're having I'm also trying to only find things from the documentation and from examples in the actual repos, because I think that's the better place to go and find things right now, but the documentation is also pretty sparse and doesn't have too much. So that's what we're working on. Axum, middleware, Rust. Now, boxed, does that mean that it waits until we get it? So if I boxed you, so boxed, okay, so I can do box body with bytes. Okay, so now can I get bytes? Well, it's boxed. That is not sync. Okay, wait, no, I don't want that. I don't think I need to send it. No, sync in that. Okay, so I don't need that. When is the course being released? When I am done with this. So, basically, here's the plan. Everything that is purple here are going to be sort of articles / lessons that have an assessment flowing through with it. It's a big plan, yes. So the full plan, as it were, is going to be a live course. So it's going to be, I'm going to create all of this stuff, and then I'm going to say, okay, for you're going to pay me money, and then for the next couple of weeks or however long it's going to be, it's going to be I'm going to be on a call minimum once per day, maybe a 2-hour lesson plus one-on-ones to go with you, and then I'm going to cut up pieces of that and then sell those individually. So the two sort of paradigms, the two modalities that you would take the course would be the live course, or just little individual pieces of the course. So I'm hoping to like make that if you only care about like middleware, for example, and you only want to learn this stuff, I'll just create a course that's only this. It's like 1 or 2 articles long, and then you could just buy that for like, I don't know, some cheap amount, and then you don't have to learn everything else. That's the idea. But of course I have to write the entire full thing to make sure I fully understand it. So that's fun. Malks, hello. Is there a place where you store much older VODs for us newcomers? Yes. So on my YouTube, I have, I think, all the VODs. And so there's a link to my YouTube. And that's, if you want to go like really old, there's a lot of really old stuff. Like that predates me using Rust too in there. There's stuff me using Lua, a lot of JavaScript stuff. I have some like random little streams that I did back when I was teaching. If you go way back into the history, if you just go into the recent ones, I've been putting all of these into a playlist called Uncut Streams, I think. And that's not every stream they've ever done. I didn't put everything in there. I just one day started throwing things in there. And I went from that. Okay. What are we working at? We were working out. Oh, I wanted to see if can I get the bytes out of here? So if I do boxed, I want to see could I get 2 bytes? There's not a 2 bytes. I feel like you're right. There's that bytes right there, but that does kind of look like a result, doesn't it? Can I unwrap you? No. Okay, so I need to find, where's this box body from? I don't see it up there. Let's go hunting. Okay, so this is, we're starting in, start in Axum. There is a box body here, which is this unsynced box body. Is that what we're seeing here? Not really, but close enough. So it's this type D&E, which is bytes and error, okay. Not really all that helpful. Oh, music, yeah. I just switched over to new music, and by the way, I have no idea if the music is now going to be available on YouTube because yesterday was the last day for Twitch soundtrack. So I switched over. This is chillhop.com. which according to Twitch won't get VODs muted. We'll find out. Hopefully not. I forgot to record this separately, so. And I didn't change the channel this is going out on Twitch, so I mean, I think you can hear it, but I don't know if YouTube can hear it or not. I'll find out when I create the VOD. Okay, so a box body trait, but like, how do I extract you out? So like, it's this with private fields. Can I see what this is? So box body is a struct that has an inner, which is private, which is a pin, so it is some async nonsense. Okay. Now there's this unsync. Do I have to do that thing? We saw something which allows me to get the not sync thing. So boxed unsync. So if I do that, wait, did you consume that? Consumed the body. Ooh, can I clone you? I cannot clone you. It doesn't have clone. Uh-oh. Now I need to create a new body again. Can I create a body? I create a default body. That'll make it so I can at least compile it. Now I have this unsync box body. Can I get the bytes out of here? It looks exactly the same. Okay, so this is the unsync box body, which has an inner inbox, defined body, data equals D, which is this type here. What is my approach if I were learning Rust from the beginning as a complete starter? So, clarifying question. When you say complete starter, do you mean starter to programming also? Like you've never done any programming stuff and you want to learn Rust, or you've done programming stuff and you want to learn Rust? That would be my first sort of clarifying question. Data and maybe get ref. Maybe I could do that. Let's try that. Let's switch to map data. It takes one argument. Oh, it takes a function in here. Okay. Here are the bytes. Okay. So then here at this point, like done programming, like a programming. Yeah. So like what's your knowledge of programming? So like I guess like a skill level. So if you were to say like a 0, you've never done any programming whatsoever. Like an early, like 1 or 2 or so, you've done some programming. You've never like worked at a programming job. You've opened up, you've written some code into an editor and executed it. And that can go all the way up to like you're a professional, you get paid to write code in an editor, and it does things for people. So with this byte, okay, paid to write code. Okay, so if that's the case, if you have that knowledge, then I would say start with the book. Even if it's intern, like you have like some coding knowledge. It's not like you're beginning from absolutely nothing. And even if it's not like a huge amount, you paid to write code even as an intern, it gives you a step up over somebody who's like, okay, I like opened up a book and like I've read a little bit of that. So in that case, there is something that the Rust community fondly calls the book, which I'm actually curious. Do I have a command for this? If I do a thing book? No, I do not. So if we go to Rust lang.org, you go to get started. Well, first of all, install Rust up with this. I guess you go to learn. And then read the book. And this would be what I recommend you start with. You probably, let's see. Just looking at the chapter titles, I would say through chapter 6 is essential. After that, I would probably start like doing some like minor little projects and then come back to this and sort of like looking at them again. Especially as like a reference of like, okay, well, how do I do this thing? Like, how do I handle errors? Like, okay, well, you probably didn't need to worry about that until you actually had errors to handle. Now you can like play with it. So that's what I would recommend. Start with the book. And then join a community. So find any community that has people that know Rust, and as you have problems, if you have questions, you can dive in and just ask them, and they should ask around. Or they should be able to help out. Almost all of the streamers have their own communities, and so I have one in Discord. Togglebits is great as well. Let's see, what else am I a member of that I can recommend for Rust? There's obviously Rust programming language itself. That's really busy, and so I end up muting it most of the time. I mean, there's the Tokyo community if you end up doing like async or web dev type stuff. There's like communities based on certain frameworks, but if you're only learning the language, I wouldn't recommend necessarily them yet. Tim Clicks has his own community. That's a good one too. Togglebit with Bunnyville. think that's what I have right now, and that's what I'm members of. But you're certainly welcome to join mine.
Beautiful.
And join them all. Does that answer your question, IMSK? Why are you upset? Body moved due to this. Wait. Oh, I consumed. Did I consume the body? I consumed the body again.
Check it out.
All right. Well, good luck with your journey. Rust is, I think, a fun language. And oh, you know what? I didn't ask. What's your current? So you're an intern. What language would is your like go-to? What's your main language? TypeScript. Okay, this won't be terribly hard for you, I think that TypeScript is pretty good. There's certain things in Rust that are going to sort of like slap you on the wrist for coming from like web development. But I'm good at web development. That's my history. I taught web dev for a long time. So if you ask any questions, I can definitely put it into the framework and context of web dev. Of like, oh yeah, you can't do this, haha, because compiled backend language. Or, oh yeah, you totally can do this. TypeScript just lets you get away with it because, reasons. Which I found is the answer for a lot of JavaScripty type things is like, yeah, reasons allows you to do that. I think I like half answered your question and just went off on like a weird tangent that didn't help at all. So sorry about that. Okay, so we have inside map data. So we have running there. We have the body streaming. So here's this. So we have the body, and it's body streaming, and then we have running middle. Okay, then we do it again. So it didn't run over the map data even though there was streaming data inside of it. So this is not what I need. So map data is not helpful in any way whatsoever. Oh, but I could do buffer and print. I can do buffer and print. Buffer and print comes from... Oh, it's this down here. Hyperbody 2 bytes. There's a hyperbody. It's async since it's not pulled, it's not mapped ever. I'm guessing. Yeah, that must be what it is. Yeah. So it's not the right thing that I need to do. But can I? So that's a hyperbody. So I have the wrong type of body. Because it can't do 2 bytes. Didn't we try 2 bytes? Like I tried to do body.2bytes. Yeah. That didn't work. So hold on, what's going on with you? This example here. Okay, here's a route. We have a route. Can you look up again what the difference between route and route layer is too? Maybe that will help as well. This is HP body, HP body. Middleware, oh, writing. So we have the entire routers with router layer. It's recommended to use Service Builder to apply multiple middleware runs instead of calling layer or route layer repeatedly. That's fine. Route layer. Apply a tower layer to the router that will only run if the request matches a route. Note that the middleware is only applied to existing routes, so you have to first add your routes and then call a layer afterwards. Oh yeah, that's something that like always confuses at beginning times. You have to put your layers below, and it runs with things above it. As opposed to like Express, where it's the opposite. You put your U's above and then runs below. This works similarly to route layer, except middleware will only run if the request matches a route. This is useful for middleware that returns early, such as authorization, which might otherwise convert a 404 not found into a 401 not authorized. Okay, so route layer will only run if it's matching a route. So in this case, it doesn't really change anything. Can you try to body.await again, though? I think should work this time. Oh, really? Okay, hold on. Let's try it. So we have the body, we see that there, so let's do, oh, because it's now this body after we got to the end parts. Let's kill the body and get a new one. So we can do body dot, there is no body.body. Okay, body.data. So body.data, it gives me a future. Now await. Okay, that gives me an option and a result. So let's unwrap. And that gives me the bytes. Okay. Now let's body string. It's gonna be body dot to string. How do I convert bytes to a string again? It's aster or something like that. So as pointer, as mute pointer, as slice. I forget how to turn bytes. And your bytes with capital B. Hold on. No, bytes. That's very possible. Okay, hold on. Data is giving me unknown. Cool. I wonder if that is the tower bytes or something. Let's find out. It'll yell at me if this is not right, right? Come on, bytes. So we have hyper body bytes. We have standard IO bytes, standard stir bytes, hyper body bytes, which is the same thing. Let's try that one. Cannot borrow body is mutable, as not declared as mutable. Really? Okay. So now that I have used bytes, what can I do? Oh, wait, there was a 2vec or something there. Before I do this, let's run this to see, does it still work? It does. Okay, so it's still compiling, it's still working. That means that this body is what we think that it is. So I have to parse it now. So what kind of place was this? This was hyper body. Do I have hyper knocked open? I don't. Let's go to hyper bytes. I could ask it to just get me the entire thing as a slice, but I don't think that's a good idea. I do want to parse it. Don't want to use unsafe to grab that. This string from UTF-8 might work. It'd be weird if yeah. I'm like making my way down to the bottom, but I just realized I'm less than halfway through this list. There's so many things here. So methods. Split to, okay, methods from dref. So, okay, methods from dref, target equals an array of U8. So yeah, that should work. So I could do, so we have the body there like that. Let's body equals, oh, I don't want to create the new body, so I want to do let string body equals string from was it UTF-8? I think it is UTF-8, right? UTF-8 body. Then I have to deref you. Expected a struct vec UA found a slice UA. Oh, okay. So can I? Oh, it's stir. Okay, so it's not string. Okay, hold on. We can do that. Also, how do they get change? I want stir. Huh? Wait, why aren't you helping me? Ooh. Is that the right? Do I not have the right one from UTF-8? That's not stir. Oh, you're looking for the module and standard, not the primitive type. Add the wrong stir. Okay, now you expected a referenced U8 found U8. Okay, so now let's reference that. Okay, so now I have a string body. So it's just giving up on doing proper air handling now. I'm just unwrapping everything. That's fine. Okay, so now we string body, and now we can do this again. So we're gonna do tracing. Bug. We have the body. String body. Yeah, there's the two different stirs, right? So it's like, okay, I totally have the right one, right? Nope. There we go. We got the body. Oh my gosh, this is... Oh, okay, that's fun. So... I finally have that out there. So now I can... We can now turn that into JSON, like into an actual struct. So we have it as a string now, or a stir. So to validate it, I guess like the first thing here is we're checking to see if it's empty or not. So interesting. So we have the body, gives me that. I wonder if it's these unwraps. Well, because it's empty data. So I bet. I know. I'm more than a little bit worried about that. So if I await, so what are you again? I only did that so I can see what type so I can verify what type it was. Okay, so we have an option result. So if you have nothing, yeah. So this entire thing that I have to do, I have to now take UTF-8 and put it back into the body here. So I'll have to deal with that a little bit later. So okay, body option. So it's an option, right? So I want this to be, if it's a none, because we don't have anything in there, I want to return with the status code of 400. And that's what we're supposed to be getting here right here. We're supposed to get a 400 status code because we didn't get that. Okay, so also, yeah, it can't be dereferenced because you're an option. That makes sense. So do I want to do this as an if let sum? I feel like I don't. I feel like I want to do sum like this. Else. So that gives us a result. And so this one, if it doesn't exist, I want to do an early return of an error, status code, internal server error. Then we can do let a body equals body else. So if this fails, this would be I always forget client error or something like that. Wrong request, bad request. That's what it is. I always forget what it's called. Okay, so then give me that. So now I have the body, which is byte. We have you. Compile. We have the body. Oh, really? We have the body empty. Oh, so empty works. Oh, interesting. Okay. So we get the body even though it's empty at this point in time. Right? So like we have the body. Oh no, I did this twice. We have the body, not question mark. So we have the body empty here. Okay, I just need, I used this twice. That was, that's high quality programming right here. Okay, so we have the body empty. We come to here. So let's try this here. Tracing, debug. I want, is there a tracing like error? There is a tracing error. Okay. I want tracing error. I guess it's not really an error, is it? It is a debug because it's not like a problem with the server. This is like a, hey, you sent nothing in. It's fine. It's just information. Okay. So tracing debug, we have the body, so this is the body is empty. There it is. We have the body empty, body is empty, and that returns the 400 here. Great, okay. Now, I'm curious. This is what? Test mirrors validated. Okay, response to 400, nothing is passed in, is correctly giving me a 400 now. Mirrors validated JSON is now giving me a failed because I am not passing back the correct body. This is now an empty body. Now I have to do a body from parts or something like that. New from parts, create from parts. Oh, info might be good. Yeah, that might be a good one. Okay, so hold on. So request from parts. I get the body. Oh, is now request bytes. So, right, because I killed the body. So I do body data. I need to create a new body to hand it into here. From can I do it from the body? Like this body? Yes, I can. Okay. Let's okay, so renaming time. So we get this body coming out here. So this is the original body from the request. So this, we're definitely gonna have to document the heck out of these so I can remember how this works, because also I'm running out of time. All right, so we extract the, where we break apart. I really hate that they call these parts, because we're gonna break the request into parts, right? It's like, well, there's parts right here, so parts and what? It's like, English-wise, that doesn't make sense, because the body is also parts. Like, okay, so we're gonna break the request into pieces. Parts. Parts is like the metadata, right, of the body, so it's everything but the data. So the parts is everything but the data. So like headers. Body is the data itself. If this was a post request. Okay. So we get that. This consumes the body. The request. We do. Okay, so then we come to here and we now want to extract out the body, but so, okay, want to get the data out of the body. Now what's interesting here is that we have, even if you don't send the data, the body in, sorry, even if I don't send data in the body and it's completely empty, it passes through this. So this is really fine no matter what? We still want to handle this. I wonder if this runs as an error if it's like a get request. I don't think we did in the test. So we get the data out of the body. Then same thing here. So if there was error getting the body, I can handle that. Okay, so now have body as bytes. This references to U8. Okay, so that gives us a stir now. So we have that, and then okay, so body from body, consumed the body previously. We need to recreate it so that we can pass it along to the next route handler. Using the body, which is bytes, to create this. It implements from bytes, so this just works. Also, now use the body to create a new request. And then get a response by running the run method. See the returns. So that Axum. I actually don't know that the response needs to be returned. I have a sneaking suspicion that I don't need to do anything with this. Like if I delete you, come back up to this and just say, you know what? You return nothing. Do you still work? You do not work. Okay, great. So we do need to return. So here's another, it's going to be returned so that Axum is happy. Cool. I need to go, but tomorrow and however long we'll continue to work on this, we haven't even done the validation part of this yet. But I need to rewrite this in a way that I don't need all the comments, at least like all of the comments. Those are going to go into like essentially an article that we write for this. I need to like make this a lot simpler looking for us to work with it. But this will be good for now. So let's go ahead and save and buffer close everything. have getting the body from the in the middleware. Finally, thank you, Hybrid. That I think you helped a lot with that. Oh, the bang quote. The bang quote. Okay, so I can now push you up. You're happy. Cookie Man is doing some Rust dev. Specific dev things is what Cookie Man is working on. Let's go ahead and set up a raid for Cookie Man. It's a curious framework. I do like it. As much as I complained today about it, I do like Axum a lot. It does remind me a lot of the simplicity of frameworks like Express. And so I think that's a really good thing. Also, there's some really amazing extractor type stuff that you can do with it, which I think is great. That being said, there's some things here that I think need some more work when it comes to like design of it, to like make it really easy and really awesome, but bygones. I think like harder, like Rust makes things difficult with that sometimes. I'm not a library developer, so like I fully understand. There's tons of like, this is hard. This is not easy to do. Totally understand that. Anyways, okay. I am gonna take off. I have to go do my day job today, so I'll be back tomorrow morning at around 6 a.m. Mountain Time. I'll stream for an hour at most, then I have to head into work. So that's all. It'll be a short stream tomorrow, but then Thursday I'll be back for a longer stream again. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye.